On 22nd April 2025, gunfire echoed through the peaceful valley of Pahalgam in Kashmir. What began as a brutal attack on unarmed tourists has now spiraled into one of the most dangerous military escalations between India and Pakistan in decades. Within days, airstrikes, drone warfare, and artillery exchanges turned the line of control into a full-blown war zone. Civilians are fleeing. Cities are on high alert. And both nuclear-armed nations are digging in. In today's episode, we break down what triggered this sudden eruption of violence, how it's unfolding across the region, and why the entire world should be watching closely. From battlefield updates to global reactions and digital censorship, this is not just another border skirmish. This is a turning point. The latest India-Pakistan conflict was ignited by a brutal terrorist attack on 22nd April 2025 in the tourist-heavy region of Pahalgam in Indian-administered Kashmir. Armed assailants opened fire on a group of unarmed civilians, killing 26 people, most of whom were domestic and foreign tourists visiting the scenic valley during the spring festival season. The attack was one of the deadliest in recent years and sent shockwaves across the country. In response, India quickly blamed the attack on Pakistan-based militant groups, particularly those it has long accused of operating with the tacit approval of the Pakistani military and intelligence services. Indian intelligence sources claim to have intercepted communications linking the attackers to Jaish-e-Mohammed, a group previously involved in cross-border terror operations. Just days after the attack, the Indian Air Force launched targeted airstrikes on suspected militant training camps across the Line of Control (LOC) in Pakistan-administered Kashmir. These operations were described as precision counter-terrorism missions by the Indian government, but they were met with swift condemnation from Islamabad, which denied any involvement in the Pahalgam incident and declared the Indian strikes a violation of its sovereignty and an act of war. Pakistan retaliated with its own air and artillery strikes on Indian military outposts along the border, escalating tensions rapidly. The exchange of hostilities has since spiraled into a broader conflict, drawing in both conventional military forces and irregular fighters. This incident marks yet another violent chapter in the long-standing Kashmir dispute, which has been at the heart of Indo-Pakistani tensions since 1947. Following the initial Indian airstrikes on alleged militant camps in Pakistan-administered Kashmir, the conflict escalated rapidly into a high-intensity exchange of firepower along the entire western border. Within 48 hours, both India and Pakistan began launching retaliatory attacks using drones, fighter jets, and long-range artillery, pushing the region toward the brink of a full-scale war. India initiated a series of military operations under the name Operation Sindoor, targeting what it claimed were terrorist launch pads and weapons depots deep inside Pakistani territory, including near Muzaffarabad and Kotli. In retaliation, Pakistan's armed forces launched what it called a coordinated counteroffensive, striking Indian forward operating bases and supply lines along the Line of Control (LOC), and even extending to the Punjab sector, an area not usually active in recent skirmishes. Reports indicate that India lost at least 5 fighter jets, while Pakistan claims to have suffered heavy damage to a key airbase near Bahawalpur. The Indian Navy also struck targets near Karachi port, allegedly disabling radar and communication installations. Meanwhile, both sides have accused each other of targeting civilian infrastructure, schools, hospitals, and residential areas, causing widespread displacement and casualties. By 9th May, the death toll exceeded 100, with more than 35 confirmed civilian deaths and thousands forced to flee border towns in Jammu, Rajasthan, and Sindh. Emergency shelters have been set up, but both countries are struggling to provide adequate humanitarian support amid the fighting. Despite international appeals for restraint, no formal ceasefire has been declared. The Indian government has placed its border states on high alert, while Pakistan has mobilized reserves and declared parts of Punjab and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa as defense zones. The continuation of hostilities without diplomatic engagement has raised fears of further escalation, especially with both nations being nuclear-armed. The swift and dramatic escalation of hostilities between India and Pakistan has drawn urgent concern from the international community. Major global powers, including the United States, China, Russia, and members of the European Union, have issued statements urging both nations to exercise restraint and immediately seek diplomatic channels to de-escalate the crisis. Despite these appeals, both New Delhi and Islamabad remain entrenched in their respective narratives, accusing each other of unprovoked aggression. In Washington, U.S. officials confirmed that both Indian and Pakistani national security advisors have been in limited back-channel contact, but no formal negotiations have taken place. While the U.S. has not offered to mediate publicly, it is reported to be working behind the scenes to open a line of dialogue between the two nuclear-armed states. China, a close ally of Pakistan and a key trading partner of India, has called for mutual restraint and constructive engagement, though its own troop movements near the line of actual control, LAC, have raised concerns of opportunistic maneuvering. Meanwhile, domestic measures in both countries reflect the seriousness of the conflict. In India, the government has put major metropolitan areas like Delhi, Mumbai, and Chennai on high alert, increasing troop deployments and boosting air defense systems. Civil aviation over much of northern India has been suspended, and several national-level exams, including board and university entrance tests, have been postponed indefinitely. The Indian Premier League, IPL, a major cultural and economic event, has also been halted. One of the most significant domestic responses has been India's clampdown on social media and digital communication. Over 8,000 social media accounts have reportedly been blocked or restricted across platforms like X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, in an attempt to curb the spread of misinformation, fake news, and inciting content. Digital platforms have come under pressure from the Indian government to comply with information takedown requests. Elon Musk, owner of X, has publicly voiced concern over the demands but has largely complied to avoid full access bans. In Pakistan, similar measures have been implemented. Public gatherings have been restricted in major cities such as Lahore and Karachi, and electricity rationing is reportedly underway in military priority zones. Prime Minister Anwar-ul-Haq Kakar has convened the wartime cabinet, while General Asim Munir, Pakistan's army chief, has publicly stated the country's armed forces are fully prepared to respond to any form of aggression. Despite early signs of high-level contact between the two governments, there is no clear roadmap for peace yet. International observers warn that with the risk of further escalation, including the theoretical threat of nuclear posturing, the situation remains one of the most dangerous flashpoints in South Asia in over 2 decades. As the smoke rises over Kashmir and the world holds its breath, the stakes in this conflict are more than just military. Behind the headlines are families displaced, lives lost, and two nations drifting dangerously close to the edge of all-out war. While the battlefield tells one story, the digital space tells another, of fear, misinformation, and rising nationalism. And though global powers urge restraint, their influence may not be enough to stop what decades of hostility, mistrust, and unresolved history have ignited. The question now is not just how this ends, but what it leaves behind. Will diplomacy find a way forward, or are we witnessing the start of something far more destructive? Only time, and leadership on both sides, will decide.